My name's Martin Ridewood. I'm the co-executive director for BNI Bedfordshire, and hopefully today I'm going to give you some tips on business developing relationships. And the title of my small session today is "It Just Gets Better and Better." So what I wanted to share with you all, the best way that I see of building relationships will come as no surprise to you. It's having one-to-ones. Actually, I prefer to call them business meetings. And for me, there's 2 or 3 different types of business meetings, i.e. one-to-ones. The first one is the one where you get to sit down and you meet somebody for the very first time. And that's a very different business meeting in my mind. And the advice that I would give all of you when you do that is to make sure that you're filling out your gain sheet and your bio, and you're sending that across to the person that you've arranged that one-to-one with at least 2 or 3 days, ideally a week before meeting. And that meeting should be a home and away where you're literally just finding out about each other a bit more. There might be a bit of personal stuff, business, and it's very, very sort of nice and easy, not too intense. It's all about just getting to know each other. That's what I call a first one-to-one, a very simple getting to know each other and maybe asking some questions about the business. They should last, I would say, anything from sort of 30 to 60 minutes. And there should be what I call a home and away leg. So ideally, the first meeting is talking about perhaps their business, and the next meeting you rearrange will be talking about your business. I very, very, very rarely on that first meeting have a meeting where you're talking about each other's businesses, because that one is really, really important. The next one is where you're having a second one-to-one or a third one-to-one with somebody, and that's very, very different again. Some tips around that. I don't know if you've ever had a second one-to-one with somebody, a third one-to-one, but I always do a couple of things before that meeting. I'll send my gain sheet to them again, just so they've got that, but I will go onto their LinkedIn profile and I will go onto their website, and I will start to see and try and find out if they've got any testimonials, have a look on their LinkedIn profile, try and see whether they've got any connections that might be quite useful to me. And basically, I will email them before the one-to-one and say, look, we're going to be having our business meeting. I want to make the most of this call with you today. I'd love you to look at my LinkedIn profile. I'd love you to look at my website, and I'd love you to see if there are any connections that could be useful contacts for you. Because what I want that business meeting to be about is really knuckling down and talking about leveraging contacts. After all, we are part of a referral marketing organization. And I also have one final objective, which I highlight before that meeting. That the objective of that meeting is to try and create at least 3 opportunities by the end of that meeting for each other. Then the final bit that's really important at the end of that meeting is a call to action. So I will agree with that person very clearly. If we've agreed some connections of people that we're going to go out and reach out to, what we're going to say, how we're going to introduce them, and I'll put a time frame of when we will come back to each other and hopefully have made those introductions to each other. The third one-to-one is very similar to that. But again, you're just digging in, continuing to build those relationships. You might be talking about other projects that you're working on, particular clients that you're working with that might have some synergy and might help create better referrals for each other. So that's my tip on building effective relationships through business meetings, aka one-to-ones.